Hey everybody, Joe here from JS Fitness. Just wanted to have a quick chat about some hip mobility. We've had some new clients come into the gym recently suffering with back pain, hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain, different problems, and a lot of the time it seems to be stemming from tight hips through daily mobility problems. So we're just going to quick chat about some stuff and give you some ideas and tips and stuff you can take away. So first thing, we kind of want to test your hip mobility. Do you have a flexible hip and don't need to stretch, or is there some kind of restrictions going on and might be something worth you improving? So first test, we kind of take this one from Kelly Starrett, physical therapist in America. Useful little test. Can you, with your feet about shoulder width apart, go down into a deep squat position? So we're just looking to relax right down. Should be comfortable if we've got sufficient ankle, knee, hip and lower back flexibility. It's a great test just to be able to stretch out and unload all of your lower back, so nice and relaxed here. Now the idea of the test is you should be able to stay in this position for 10 minutes, comfortably 10 minutes if required. You should be able to stay here. Some people might find it hard to even get into this position. People that do get to the position and are struggling might be impinged ankles, knees, different things, so could be some stuff to work on. So what we're going to do is chat about maybe briefly as to why people might be struggling to get into these positions, as it's quite a natural thing for us to be able to do. It seems to be that through daily activities of the kind of modern lifestyle, working at a desk, driving cars, all these different things, we're sort of spent in this classic 90-degree angle and all our joints are seizing up and starting to restrict. And then when we're trying to get back up out of being there for probably 8 hours in a day, then trying to run around, go to the gym, do different stuff, we're experiencing some tightness. Good little test. Just so you can understand and experience that, is if you fold over at the waist, we can then find some skin just here. If you get your hands in your pockets, you can grab hold of the skin, get that skin nice and tight, and then try standing up. And as you try and stand up, you'll experience an archway and a hollowing of your lower back because of all this tightness here. Now this is very much like after being sat down for 8 hours a day, clicking the mouse and working away, this tightness and restriction comes in. When you then return to stand up, we find you in this poor position and stuff starts getting bad backs, bad hips, bad knees. So what we're going to do about this? So we're going to give you 3 or 4 different ideas, different things you can work on, you can do on a daily basis to try and help improve and mobilise the pelvis. And we can actually do most of this in the office space. So the first stretch, the first exercise and stretch that we're going to do is being sat down. We want to maintain this good posture, so we're lifted in through the chest, the core's engaged, we've got a lumbar curve, a little archway in the lower back. Simple first test, can we place that one foot onto the opposite knee, allowing the knee just to drop down here and keep your chest up? Can you keep nice and tall? Now a lot of people are going to find this really hard. There's going to be a little bit of tightness in the hip capsule. It's going to be tightness through all the muscles around here, commonly known piriformis and all sorts. So we're just looking to see if you can sit here. 30 seconds at a time, just starts to loosen up the hip. We can even then think about moving and mobilising the body above and below. So we can look at just starting to get a bit of movement out of the knee. We can then look at bringing the chest and the stomach forwards, trying to keep a nice straight back. We're looking at going into rotation, all these different areas, just looking at trying to find where your tightness is. Next thing you can look to do is maybe a tennis ball. Most people can get hold of a tennis ball around the house or even just down the local shops, probably about 50p. We're looking to sit onto the tennis ball and then repeat the same thing. On the tennis ball we start to get into and breaking down all these different sticky adhesions and tissues and things that aren't sliding past each other. So we just look to now start to mobilise, and we can physically roll laterally across the tennis ball, trying to find any tight corners, anything that's a bit sore, anything a bit uncomfortable in there. If so, just relax on it. Again, about your 30 seconds, that's normally sufficient to start to break things down. Anything up to 2 minutes is good if you've got the time. So that's the first one. Second one we're going to look at is more the hamstrings. Hamstrings attaching below the knee up into the pelvis and affecting the mechanics of the lower back. So all we're looking to do, you could do this again in the office, just a foot on the chair, just placing the heel down, nice straight leg. All we're looking to do is keep nice and tall and fold from the hip. So we're not worried about collapsing down, we're looking to fold from the hip. Just looking to get into that stretch. Should feel it all down the back of the leg here. We can then look, once we're into that one, is twisting out, so we're opening up, feeling more to the adductors, closing off the hips, more to the outside of the hip round here. Once we've done a little bit of mobility just there, using the arms, we can look to stabilise, and we just look to rotate from the foot. So you can see the actual leg moving too, changing the position. It's a nice one for loosening up all through the hip. Next one, these hip flexors. When we're sat down all day long, these muscles get really tight, so it's going to be nice to try and open back out and even extend out behind you, try and lengthen out all this. So what we can do is place the knee onto a bench, a chair, whatever's available to you. Potentially grab hold of the shoe or rest it over the back of the chair. And then all we're looking to do is loosen up by bringing the hip through. This is going to start to stretch all down the front of the thigh. Want to be engaged with the core. We don't want to be sloppy, so nice and tight with the glutes as well. Two things staying tight, and we get that nice stretch into that sort of position. After that, we can now look to do the last one, which is going to be down nice and low now, the calf muscle. Classic one that gets quite tight from lots of driving. So just need a wall. Looking to place the heel in nice and low, nice straight leg, and then holding the frame, we can slowly look to come up. And actually create a stretch down through the whole of the calf muscle just through there. That's one of them. The second option is to come down low. We bend at the knee this time. Then we look to come up, and we can potentially even loosen up sideways. We've now got a bent knee rather than a straight leg. So if you spend about a minute for each station on each leg, loosen things up. Once you've gone through all of that, you can then go back to the squat test. Does it feel easier on one hip compared to the other? Going up and down. Test retest, that feels much better. Gonna have to go through all this, so catch you next time.